Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Guess what time it is? It's that time. It's a time for my 2018 predictions. Many of you have asked when I was going to do it, and no time is as good as now. For those of you that haven't seen my 2017 predictions, I recommend tuning into it. A lot of things came true, and yeah, some things did not come true. I'll be the first one to admit it. I have no problem with that, but I'm going to say about 80% really did come true. And yes, my Cubs did not win. They got close, but no cigar, as they say. Anyway, what is it that I see in 2018? Well, interesting enough, I want to start off by talking about the tax reform. There's a lot of hype and there's a lot of communication of this and that, people going back and forth, yay or nay. Some people love the tax reform, some people don't. I am here not to take sides, okay? But I am going to just tell you what I think. The tax reform with the tax rate going for corporations to 21%, that versus what they've been paying at 35%. Now, what is it going to do to the economy? I actually think it's going to really help the economy. The reason I see this is because it is going to be room for job growth. When the corporations can save money on taxes, they can actually spend more time on the employment and growing their business. So it is it going to be good for our economy? The answer is yes. Now, across the board, you may not like that whole reform, but I am going to tell you this is really going to help. Companies like Boeing, for instance, they're getting orders left and right. Pharmaceutical companies, they're going to continue to flourish. Things like that. When you see big corporations and they have this type of a tax rate down to 21%, yes, it is going to do immensely for the job market, and we need that. Now, when we're talking about the job market, retailers like Macy's, JCPenney, etc., they are going to, unfortunately, not do well. They will continue, their in-store will dwindle. I truly believe that more and more malls are going to be closing, and my estimation in 5 years is probably going to be half of the malls in all of the United States is going to be shut down. I really do believe that. So anything in the retail end, if it isn't online, you better start looking for different avenues to make a living. So if you want psychic advice, take the time between now and 5 years to retrain yourself, because virtually you're going to need a job where you can retrain. That is my advice, because you've got a good 5 more years before you are going to see, it's going to be like ghost towns. You're not going to see these malls. You know, when there's like a Macy's in every department, you know, in every suburb, in every mall, you're going to see a Macy's, maybe one Macy's in every county. It's probably, that's all there's going to be. So I do definitely see the retail market really taking a heavy hit. And it's not going to be just the retail market. It's also going to be like auto insurance places like State Farm and Allstate, where if you wanted to go in, talk to an agent, you had that rapport. Unfortunately, those are dwindling, and you're going to do a lot more with online sales, to the point where you're not going to have that personal with an agent. You're not. Those are going to dwindle very drastically, because it's the overhead that keeps the offices and the employment. So you see where I'm going with that? That's fading out. So I definitely see that. The stock market, as I had said in my 2017, I definitely saw the stock market flourishing and continuing to grow and go up and up and up. It's really done very well, and I'm happy for that, because that, again, was helping the economy, as it will consistently do. Second to third quarter is where I see little tumbles, little peaks. There's a reason I'm going to say this. The stock market's gone as high as it could go. So it's going to kind of fade back and forth second to third quarter. So I do want to say that. So, but do I see anything drastic? Well, if anything ever happened to Donald Trump, that's where you would see a real dive to the stock market. Okay? So I am getting that very, very much. But they are at an all-time high. So that's pretty dynamic. The real estate market. Well, I'm going to start with Illinois. Illinois' real estate market is probably going to fall between 12 and 15%. Sorry to say that. Anybody who wants to sell their house, please clean it up, paint it, make it beautiful, and get rid of it. If you wait, it's going to be less profit for you. Now, in other states as well, there are some states in the United States that will hold its own. But on the norm, how will the real estate market flourish? It won't. There's too much happening in the economy as far as, well, for instance, California with the wildfires. There's just a lot of things that are going on. So I am going to say it's going to take a hit. And by 2019, you're going to see really hits majorly, but it's going to start this coming new year. Okay? So I do see that. Now, on another note, we've heard so much about the sexual harassment and the Why Me campaign, which I just love and support all these wonderful women that have come forward to make this more known and to break the cycle. And God bless all of you women for doing that. So I applaud each and every one of you. But what do I see? I actually see a male stepping forward. And this male will say he was sexually harassed. And that will start a chain of events now for the males to say that there was a dynamic person and wanted me to do this and this and that. I really do see that. So I wanted to bring that to your attention as well. There's been a lot of mass shootings and bombings, and I have predicted that in 2017, and I wasn't proud that that happened, but it did. That will continue the larger areas. Now, I want to say that that is going to continue, and it's going to be where more people are under one roof. Where you think you're the safest is where you're probably not. Don't overplay your hand and bank on anything. Just be a little leery with larger crowds. That's all. But that will continue to happen. I do believe that. Weather. Let's talk about global warming. That has got me thinking, our Earth is very sick. And this is the reason for all this climate change, to the point where, 65 degrees in the first week of December in Chicago was unheard of. Really, try to really think twice to what you're doing with this Earth, recycling and making sure. But our Earth, people, is very, very sick. And I think that the scientists know of it, but I think that most people don't realize the severity of it. So take an interest in it, because these are our children and our children's children. And this should be an important topic, but it will continue to dwindle. So like I said, that big hole in the ozone layer is getting massively bigger, and I worry about that. So you're going to hear a lot more about that regarding global warming. Places like London, New York, even Ireland. I don't know why I'm getting Ireland, but I worry about that. They're going to continue to be targets. So that is something that will, unfortunately, we're going to still hear some bad news. Now, 2017, there were so many people wanting me to talk about Donald Trump as being president, and everybody just wanted my take. Chicago Tribune reached out to me and what have you. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I said this in 2017, and I'm going to say it again. More people, that are going to be dropping from his cabinet is like I go through underwear. He's going to have a lot of people. And let's face it, he's had so many that I've even done my homework. And let's see, I've got pages and pages and pages of all the people in his cabinet that have left or been fired or both. So the point is, 2018, is it finally ceasing? Does he finally have the cabinet of his dreams? The answer is a big fat no. He's going to keep going through people like I go through underwear. And let me tell you, I go through underwear almost every day. So every day and every day. So my point is, he's going to go through it, because he is a man of perfection. And if he doesn't like what you're doing, out you go. So I do see that too. Okay. 2017, I did worry about North Korea, and I stated it, Asia. And as we all know, no surprise, it came true. Now, what is going to happen? Should we worry about North Korea? Absolutely yes. This man is very unstable. And yes, he's out to get the U.S. So I do worry about that. That will be a continued threat. North Korea, I think, is actually going to succeed in sending some sort of missile. And I hope it's not California, because California has had their bad breaks and their California fires, and I'm so sorry. My heart is with all of them. People losing their homes, they don't need this. But I don't think California is out of the woods. It seems like somehow, some way, something's going to get in the radar. I don't know if it's a nuclear or if it's going to be some sort of nuclear spill of some sort, but I don't think California is out of the woods, and I'm sorry to say that. I see Jared Kushner taking a lot more heat, and I do see Ivanka and him relocating to New York. I don't think he's going to be an active participant in this cabinet for very long. I really don't. I don't see that at all. Back to our economy. The one thing that I do really see is there's so much trying to save the middle class, and I'm a big advocate for the middle class, okay? Because I think this is what makes our nation. But in the future, I think where it's heading is there's not going to be a middle class any longer. I think it's going to be rich and poor. And I hate saying it, but I just see it. It's just dwindling. And that is a big tragedy. But I do see that as well. President Trump's health, is it good? No. Don't ask me why, but I still get the same feeling. I don't wish it on him. But do I see him a healthy man? I do not. And I worry, because God forbid if something happened, that stock market then would really do an amazing crash, and it would not be good. So yeah, I do. And I do worry about that. Now, I want to talk about something on a happier note. Philanthropy. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, people like them, and you're going to start seeing them in the news, what they're going to create more and more for the future of our children. I love them. To me, they are silent heroes in what I call them. I have a lot of respect for what they're going to do to our economy, but also what they're going to instill in our children's minds. This to me is priceless, and this is going to evolve in such a beautiful way. You know, kids that never really had a thing to want to do will suddenly they're going to start blooming. They're going to have a direction to do something. And it's going to be because of people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and people and more like them. But the philanthropy is going to start coming out in a big way that's really going to help us and our future children. And that's a really nice comfort. So I'm getting to see a lot of that that's coming in my radar. Now, let's talk about the Cubs. Do I actually see them going to the World Series? They have every right to go, and they have so much talent. Joe Madden is a wonderful manager, so I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to keep going with them. Boom. Okay. Last but not least, the final question where everybody has asked me is, do I see President Trump impeached? My answer is no. I don't see it. I try to get a vision that I see him leaving the White House, and I do not see this man leaving the White House. So for those of you that love him, you'll be very happy with that. And for those of you that don't like him, you won't be very happy with that answer. But I'm not taking sides here. I am just telling you what I see. And I do see that he's more of a permanent fixture for some reason. So I do not see him leaving by force. What can I can think of so many ways in how I want to end this. But here's the thing that I want to say. Be aware of what's going on. I know there's a lot of uncertainty, and there is a lot of bad things, and we have a lot of unstable people with a lot of unstable and sick minds out there that are causing a lot of harm. But be aware, you still have to live. Do I go where I have to go? Absolutely. Do I travel where I have to go? Yes, I do. But I do take in effect my feelings. If I'm getting a feeling that something's not right, what's the old saying I've always preached? If it ain't right, because it's not. You're not feeling it, it's not right. I want you to really, really pay attention. Use that. So if you've got plans and something's telling you no, maybe listen to it. But I do want you to continue living your lives. Go on with things, but be aware. What do I mean being aware? Well, pay attention to what's going on in the news. Pay attention when you're walking and crossing the street. Don't be like this. on your phone and people are getting hit and run down by cars. And I can't say it's just the kids. It's people my age, because I'm in the car on the expressway and I'm seeing people my age and older and they're texting. And the thing is, they don't have the quick reflexes, like the young kids do. So pay attention. Nothing is that important to take you away from something that can cause havoc, whether it's to somebody else or whether it's to you. Live life. Enjoy. Everything is in moderation. That's what I want to tell you today. This is a really, really big thing. So know that. Pay attention to it. Live life. Be happy. And you know what? It's all going to work out. It really is. Do I see the world coming to an end? I've even had people ask me that. Of course it's not going to come to an end. That's why. Be your best self. Treat people with patience and kindness. And if people are getting under your skin, walk away. It's not important to win arguments. When they say less is more, it's so true. So be the best person you can. Be the bigger person and say nothing sometimes. Because you know what, at the end, you're the winner. So I hope this has enlightened you. I look forward to many of your questions. Keep the questions coming on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube. We're going to be talking. We have a new season, a new year. We're going to be talking a lot about different things. And if there's something you want me to discuss, by all means. I love your questions, but most of all, I love you. Thank you so much. Live life, spread the joy, and just continue to just be your best self. All the best. Happy and blessed New Year to all of you. Take care.